Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Wednesday, November 12th. We have all you need to know about new projects across Penn State, as well as more on Penn State's plan to help students impacted by the SNAP shutdown.
We also have the latest information on record low temperatures in a cold blast across the U.S., along with sports, entertainment, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bronwyn Liber.
And I'm Gianna Girol. The Penn State Board of Trustees has approved 3 projects totaling $42.7 million. One of the projects that has been approved is the first phase of a microchip packaging clean room at the Millennium Science Project. The second phase will need to be approved at a later date. The next project will include bathroom renovations and the addition of 21 bedrooms at McKee Hall. The McKee renovation is projected to be completed by the beginning of next school year. Finally, the last project will repurpose one of the buildings at Innovation Park for the Applied Research Laboratory.
Penn State is stepping up to support students impacted by recent interruptions to Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits. The university says students facing challenges meeting food or basic needs at any campus are encouraged to reach out to student care and advocacy for help. By filling out the Basic Needs Assistance Request form, students can connect with a case manager to explore available resources, including both campus and community food pantries. A website on the Student Care and Advocacy page also lists up-to-date resources and support options as new information becomes available.
The Nittany Mall's owner is being sued for gross negligence after a business owner allegedly sustained over $500,000 in damage to inventory due to a leaky roof. Mark Harrison owns MRH Consulting, an e-commerce business that sells designer watches, and used a unit at the mall for storage. Harrison says he notified management of leaks multiple times and took steps to protect his products before a major rain event last spring damaged much of his inventory. The rain damage appears to be affecting other storage units as well.
New details have been released in a crash that left a 12-year-old boy in critical condition in Spring Township. Police say 25-year-old Esmanbek Amarov admitted to leaving a State College bar just before the head-on collision Saturday afternoon on Pleasant View Boulevard. Emergency crews found the 12-year-old trapped inside the vehicle, and he was flown to Gazenzer, Danville in critical condition. Police say Amarov smelled of alcohol and failed several field sobriety tests. Amarov remains jailed with his bail denied. The State College community made their way to the polls for last week's election. Ryan Gertzenzang is live in the studio with more details. Ryan?
Thanks, Bronwyn. I had the chance to speak with voters and poll workers about the 2025 municipal election. Let's take a look.
Last Tuesday, thousands of voters across Center County flocked into polling locations to make their voice heard. It was an important election with many local positions and state judicial seats up for election. I visited the State College North polling location to get a first-hand view on the action.
I'm out here in Precinct 16's voting location. They've already had over 200 people walk in and cast their ballots today. That number is expected to rise as the workday winds to an end.
Behind every election are the diligent poll workers ensuring every ballot gets casted and counted correctly. For some, it's a great way to volunteer in the community. For others, it's a family affair. But this tedious and important job is incredibly rewarding.
I like seeing my neighbors and seeing that they're voting and seeing that my neighbors are civic-minded. To me, that's one of the nicest things you can say about someone, is that they have concern about their town and their neighbors, and it's a beautiful expression of it.
Voting is something that Penn State students can partake in too. And for those who voted on Election Day, they didn't have to go far, as right inside the hub was a polling location. Students like Bennett Matthews are thrilled to be able to make their voice heard.
It's important for our voice to be heard, especially as young people voting in a country where increasingly it feels like our voices are not being listened to and not being heard. And young people voting, we are the majority of the people that don't vote. So for our conditions to improve, especially as students, especially in an economy that feels like it's increasingly failing us, it's important for us to vote to make sure that we can ensure that our futures are getting better.
With numerous voting locations conveniently located across the State College area, and some right here on campus in the hub, next election there should be no reason not to vote. For Penn State Network News, I'm Ryan Gerstenzang.
Last week's election marked the most total ballots ever cast for a municipal election in Sano County. Back to you, Bronwyn.
Thanks, Ryan. Now, what kind of weather can students expect for the rest of this week? Student meteorologist Frank Gargione is live in the studio with this week's forecast. Frank?
Thanks, Bronwyn. Although the Arctic blast that brought us some wintry precipitation and cooler conditions is behind us, we're still experiencing some below average temperatures here in State College. We take a look at our current conditions. Currently 45 degrees, feeling like 38, a dew point of 32. Visibility is clear at 10 miles. We do have a bit of a wind from the west at 13 miles per hour. Let's take a look at our temperatures across the state of Pennsylvania, primarily in the low to upper 40s, with a few exceptions. Bradford currently sitting at 35, Franklin at 41, Pittsburgh at 45. And if you take a look towards our south and towards our east here, Philadelphia 55 degrees right now, the warm anomaly of the state at the moment. Harrisburg at 48, Allentown at 46. As we take a look at our wind gusts currently across the state, 14 mile per hour wind gusts here in State College. And as we head towards our west, anywhere from the 20 to 36 range of wind gusts right now. Franklin, 24 mile per hour gusts. Pittsburgh also at 24 mile per hour gusts. Erie at 36. And the reason why I bring this up is because of our feels like temperatures. As we head towards our west, more feels like temperatures in the mid 30s right now. Franklin feeling like 34, Pittsburgh feeling like 39, Bradford feeling below 30 right now at 29 degrees. And as we take a look towards our south and towards our east, where those winds are minimal, feels like temperatures only a couple degrees below what they actually are. Now, if we time out the feels like temperatures as we head on the rest of the night and into tomorrow, we can expect those feels like temperatures to get a little bit lower, below average, and below freezing for that matter as we head for the rest of tonight and really into tomorrow, with feels like temperatures dipping into the upper 20s here in State College overnight. And then those will continue to hover around freezing. And as we head in towards 11 a.m. tomorrow, feels like temperatures in the low 40s here in State College at 34 degrees. As we take a look at our satellite and radar, we have the chance to see the northern lights tonight. However, it will be cloudy here in State College. We see this precipitation starting to make its way towards the east here. A lot of the precipitation moving through State College earlier this afternoon. This whole thing should move out of here by tonight as we time it out here in the future weather. As we head into the overnight hours here early Thursday morning, some scattered snow showers towards our north and towards our east here around 10 a.m. That shouldn't affect us here in State College. As a matter of fact, we should clear out as we head throughout the rest of the day here on Thursday. Shaping up to be a really nice evening across most of the central and southern parts of the state here. Clear here around 6:40 p.m. Expected to continue as we head into the overnight hours as well here on Thursday as we play this loop forward. Now, however, we do start to see clouds roll in here Friday morning and really into Friday afternoon associated with our next rain system that will bring some scattered showers and precipitation as we head into the weekend here on Saturday. We can time this out for you, arriving pretty much late afternoon or into the early evening here around 10:15. Most of the state covered in precipitation. This will be a quick mover. We'll move out of here by Sunday morning, leading to some northwest flow off the lakes, bringing some lake effect snow in parts of the northern counties here of Pennsylvania. We take a look at tonight here in State College, 37 degrees with some showers early from that precipitation that you saw on that radar. West wind at 14 miles per hour. Precipitation bumped up here to 40%. Now, as we continue to tomorrow, we're expecting to stay dry and still below average, 44 degrees and partly cloudy conditions. Wind bumped up a bit, still from the west at 18 miles per hour, and a close to zero chance of precipitation. As we take a look at our 7-day forecast, hovering around average here as we head into the weekend, 53 degrees associated with that rain, but the rest of the weekend and into early next weekend staying below average and cloudy conditions. We're getting to that time of year where all it feels like is every day is clouds. Back to you, Bronwyn.
Thanks, Frank. Now over to Caden Gill with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Bronwyn. I'm Caden Gill with your sports update. Penn State women's soccer is headed back to the NCAA tournament. The Nittany Lions will host 9th-seeded Army in the first round at Jeffrey Field on Saturday. Despite falling to UCLA in the Big Ten tournament quarterfinals for the second straight year, Penn State earned the number 8 seed in the national bracket. This marks the program's 31st consecutive NCAA tournament appearance, which is the second longest streak in college soccer history. The winner will advance to face either 16th-seeded High Point or top-seeded Virginia in the next round. Moving to the Bryce Jordan Center, Penn State's men's basketball continued its undefeated start to the season, defeating Navy 80-71 on Veterans Day. Freddie DeLeon led the way with 19 points, while 3 other Nittany Lions also finished with double-digit points. Penn State held a 38-32 lead thanks to strong facilitation by its offense. The midshipmen stayed close throughout the second half, but the Nittany Lions knocked down crucial free throws in crunch time to secure the win and improve to 3-0 on the season. Penn State travels to Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia to face LaSalle in a neutral site matchup on Saturday, November 15th at 1 p.m. After a turbulent 9 months, the Dallas Mavericks have fired general manager Nico Harrison. Harrison faced heavy criticism after trading away superstar point guard Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers last February, a move Mavericks team president Patrick Dumont now admits was a significant mistake. With Dallas off to a disappointing 3-8 start this season, Dumont decided it was time for a change. During his 4 seasons in Dallas, Harrison orchestrated several major trades that helped the team, but trading away Doncic for minimal return ultimately destroyed his reputation and ended his tenure in Dallas. Assistant general managers Michael Finley and Matt Riccardi will take over as interim co-general managers. Look out, WNBA, another competitor is on the way. Project B, a women's basketball league based in Europe and Asia, is set to launch in November 2026 and play through April 2027. The inaugural season would not overlap with the typical WNBA calendar. The league has already secured commitments from former WNBA MVP Nneka Ogwumike of the Seattle Storm and 5-time All-Star Alyssa Thomas of the Phoenix Mercury. Both players point to higher salaries and a players' revenue sharing model as key factors in their decision to join. Project B will feature 6 teams and a total of 66 players, joining Unrivaled, a 3-3 professional women's league that launched last year as an alternative platform for elite talent. Meanwhile, the WNBA remains locked in tense negotiations surrounding a new collective bargaining agreement with its players' union. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Joy Donald has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Joy Donald with your entertainment update. Fall fun is back at Pumpkin Fest 2025. Join the celebration at the Arboretum at Penn State this Friday and Saturday. The family-friendly festival features live music, food trucks, crafts, and activities for all ages, plus the fan-favorite jack-o'-lantern contest. Friday night includes pumpkin decorating, music by 91 Stitches, and the 21-plus pumpkin patch with local drinks. On Saturday, enjoy live pumpkin carvings and music from Western Range. Admission is free, and the fun runs until 9 p.m. each night. The iconic rock group Journey is coming out to the Bryce Jordan Center for a final performance. The group will be going on their final Frontier farewell tour, and students will get the chance to buy discounted tickets for the $30 at the exclusive student presale happening tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The group has performed together for over 50 years and had some notable chart-topping songs such as Don't Stop Believing, Any Way You Want It, Separate Ways, and Open Arms. The band will be touring over 60 locations from February all the way to July, so be sure to snag some tickets. Adele is making her acting debut in a new 18th century drama featuring Tom Ford. The fashion designer and filmmaker's third feature will be an adaptation of Anne Rice's 1982 novel Cry to Heaven, a drama set in 18th century Italy, according to Deadline. Adele will be sharing the screen with other notable actors such as Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Hunter Schafer, and Daryl McCormack. Cry to Heaven is in pre-production in both London and Rome this year, and the shoot will begin in January with a release date eyed for later in 2026. Cleto Escobedo III, who was a longtime best friend of Jimmy Kimmel as well as the leader of Jimmy Kimmel's house band, has unfortunately passed away at the age of 59. Although the cause of his death has not been disclosed, many think it was due to underlying health conditions, as Jimmy Kimmel made an announcement thanking the doctors and nurses at UCLA Medical Center for taking care of his friend. Escobedo was a phenomenal performer, according to Kimmel, and would often wow people with his performances even at a young age. Escobedo is survived by his parents, wife, and 2 children. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Lauren Perry will be speaking with Sydney DiMedio, the CEO of clothing brand Wander Babe. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Lauren Perry, and I'm joined tonight by Sydney DiMedio, the CEO of the clothing brand Wander Babe. Thank you so much for coming tonight, Sydney.
Thank you so much for having me, Lauren.
Yes, of course.
Excited.
So let's get started. Tell me a little bit about you. What's your major and what year are you?
So I'm a sophomore in the Smeal College of Business with an intended major in marketing and a minor in entrepreneurship.
You're currently the CEO of a clothing line. Can you tell us how your journey began?
Yeah, so I've always had a passion for entrepreneurship, but my journey started when I was a freshman. So last year, I joined the Nittany Entrepreneurship Society, which is an entrepreneurship club here. And I just remember going to the first meeting and seeing the student startups of 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And I just remember being so impressed by them.
Yeah.
And from that, I just felt like I was where I was meant to be. And I just had a feeling like, oh my gosh, like I'm meant to be an entrepreneur. And so from that first meeting, I started planning, designing, and creating my brand, which is now Wander Babe.
So, talking more about Wander Babe, what inspired your brand and what is the audience you're trying to target with your clothing line specifically?
Yeah, so Wander Babe is a brand that blends comfort but also confidence. So Wander is that adventurous and ambitious side, where then the Babe adds that girl and girly confidence blend to it that ties my whole brand together. And then my target audience is travelers, obviously, but also people that are going internationally, but also just going to class and the grocery store. Like I want people to feel comfortable, but also stylish wherever they're going.
Yes, so you wanted people to feel comfortable when traveling.
Exactly,
yes. I love that so much.
Thank you.
So what do you think the toughest part is starting a business while being a full-time college student? Because that's a lot going on at once.
Yes, definitely. I would say the biggest challenge is time management, because there are weeks when I have 3 exams and also I'm planning an event for my brand.
Yeah.
And it just can get overwhelming and I'm being pulled in so many different directions. So I feel like just trying to find the time and managing both is probably the biggest challenge. But I feel like that I found out about myself that I do really well is I kind of take a step back and I kind of go into it with a positive mindset. Like, it's okay, like you got this, like just keep going. And I feel like that's really helped me overcome those challenges.
Yeah, like you're doing a lot at once. That's, I barely can do my schoolwork, so I mean, I get it.
Oh, thank you.
So I know you're currently selling your sweat sets in McClanahan's. I saw them recently when I went there and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
So can you tell me how you got your sweat sets in McClanahan's and how this whole process started of getting them into stores?
Yeah, so this was a huge step for my brand, and I was first posted on Onward State, and I'm so grateful because then McClanahan's reached out to me, and they were like, we would love to represent your brand and your clothing in our stores. And I remember getting that DM because on Instagram they DM'd me, and I just remember seeing it and I'm like, is this even real? Like, oh my gosh. I called my family, my boyfriend, and I was just so excited. And now I walk by there every single day and I like see my clothing. Like I look at it like face to face and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a pinch me moment. But it's so exciting. It's so surreal and I'm just so grateful for this opportunity.
Yeah, and it's definitely so cool to see people like wear your stuff on campus and different things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would be like, oh my God, I made that.
I know, I'm like, where'd you get that? Yeah.
So how did you inform people about your business and get it? I saw it's on TikTok Shop.
Yes.
And also have influencers modeling your brand.
Yeah, so social media has been a huge factor for my brand. I mean, marketing is the name of the game for businesses. So I primarily use TikTok and Instagram, and I post behind the scenes, like day in the life, and just content of my products.
Yeah.
And then from that, I've also worked with Megan Million, which has been so fun. She's awesome. And then I'm hoping to collab even with more people and more influencers.
Yes.
So that's super exciting. And I think the most exciting part has just been seeing how my followers interact with my feed and the content that I post.
Yeah.
And it's just been so fun to create content for all of them.
Yeah. So do you think you definitely get more of your sales from it being in stores or it being online? Like, what's more of your...
I would say definitely social media.
Yeah.
Because everyone's on their phone, everyone's scrolling. So when they see a post, they're like, oh, that's cute. Like, let me buy that. So I definitely feel like that's where most of my sales come from.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see students modeling travel wear because we all are traveling a lot as college students, and it's like something comfortable to wear. So that's cute. Like, I love that so much. So can you talk more about what the future looks like for Wander Babe? And if you have anything big coming out, any new sweat sets coming out, different things like that that you want to like tell us about?
I love this question so much because I'm so excited for the future of Wander Babe.
Yeah.
I'm always planning and creating and designing and just shaping the future of my brand, and it's so exciting for me to do. But right now I'm focusing on cultivating like a team for my brand and also coming out with new product lines, which I'm so excited. No spoilers yet, but it's coming very soon. And yeah, just traveling and doing pop-ups and different events and really showcasing my brand and to as many people as I can.
Well, we love what we see you doing, and I'm so thankful that you came in to tell us more about your brand today.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to see what Wander Babe does next. Now stick around because coming up next, Gianna and Bronwyn will have the latest of news across the country.
President Donald Trump's administration is demanding states take back extra SNAP benefits, the anti-hunger program that helps to feed 42 million Americans. The court order that allowed these payments at the beginning of the month has now been paused by the U.S. Supreme Court. States are now being told that these full payments are unauthorized and they may face penalties, such as loss of federal funding, if they don't comply with the reversal. States received 4 different directives regarding SNAP in the past 6 days and say this reversal could cause catastrophic issues within their programs.
The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected a call to overturn its landmark decision that legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. On Monday, justices declined to hear an appeal from Kim Davis, the former Kentucky court clerk who refused to issue marriage license to same-sex couples after the court's 2015 Obergefell v. Hodges ruling. Davis was appealing a lower court order requiring her to pay $360,000 in damages and attorney fees to one of the couples she denied a license. Her attorneys urged the court to revisit the 2015 decision, citing Justice Clarence Thomas' past criticism of the ruling. Thomas was one of 4 justices who had a strong disagreement in the Obergefell case.
Donald Trump became the first sitting president in nearly half a century at a regular season NFL game after attending the Commanders-Lions game on Sunday. Only 2 other presidents attended NFL games during the regular season, Richard Nixon in 1969 and Jimmy Carter in 1978. President Trump attended the game with House Speaker Mike Johnson, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and others. AP News says his appearance was met with boos from members of the crowd. This visit was President Trump's latest in a series of appearances at sporting events, including the Ryder Cup, Daytona 500, and U.S. Open.
Meteorologists are warning of intense snowfall across the Great Lakes and record low temperatures in the south as one of the season's first major winter storms sweeps across the country. The National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning through Monday, predicting wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour and as much as 18 inches of snow, with some areas even expecting thunder snow. Winter weather advisories stretch across Michigan, Indiana, and Wisconsin, with meteorologists warning of hazardous travel and whiteout conditions. And it's not just the north feeling the chill. Freeze warnings are in effect from Texas and Oklahoma all the way to Alabama and Georgia. Meteorologists are urging residents to protect plants, pets, and pipes as temperatures dip well below normal across much of the nation. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.